Hello, everyone, and welcome to the D8 Dungeon Drive 2024. I'm Anya, and my pronouns are she, her, and I am going to be your storyteller for this Candela Obscura chapter, Whispers from Below. You can find me everywhere on socials at Lalian Cosplay, and I'm going to go clockwise from what I see on Video Ninja. So, Bex, you are first.
Hi, I'm Bex. I use she, they pronouns, but anything is good. You can find me on the internet primarily on Blue Sky under Phoenix Force. I am playing Emily Lindgren today, who is our academic professor.
Perfect. Agent P, you're up.
Hello everyone, I'm Agent P. I use they, them pronouns. And I'll be playing Ashley Alton, who's our mischievous little journalist who, gets into things he shouldn't get into, but gets the stories he needs.
Perfect. Krifu.
Hi, I'm Krifu Bernal. My pronouns are he, him. You can find me all over at Krifu Bernal. And today I'm playing Austin Sabile, whose pronouns are he, himbo, the soldier ex-noble scion who eats all of Ashley's food and likes to get into fights and other things.
Perfect. And of course, last but not least, Neil.
Hello, folks. My name is Neil. My pronouns are he, him. You can find me everywhere at Fayearth. I'm the creator of that game. But today I am playing Vivian, or Viv, whose pronouns are they, them. They are the child of a maid who worked in highborn society and was gifted in tea leaves and fortune telling, and they inherited a gift too. And have joined the Candela Obscura to better understand magic so they can better understand their powers.
Excellent. So, just so everyone is aware, this game will contain elements of psychological horror, and I did this on purpose, and mind manipulation through magical means. That being said, gore is not my jam, and so you aren't going to be seeing that in this game at all. Also, your mental health is important, and at the end of the end of the day, this is just a game.
At the end of the game.
Freudian slip there. Anyway, you can always turn off the game and come back later to watch the VOD if you ever need to. And then also some other things. Before we get into the game, I just really quickly want to talk a bit about the fundraiser we're doing this weekend on D8 Dungeons channel. It is for the Palestinian Children's Relief Fund. For 25 years, the PCRF has been helping children in the Middle East by leading medical missions into the Middle East, arranging for children to receive medical care through treatment abroad, and sponsoring humanitarian programs. We are raising money to help them in their efforts, and at the moment, what is the total? Seeing if it's updated. We are at 3,750 raised so far, and that is 750 over the goal for this year, and has already smashed through the total from last year, which is absolutely incredible. We are aiming for $5,000 this weekend. So do some donations, which, speaking of, part of our fundraiser includes donation incentives to help or hinder our players. So Candela Obscura uses a D6 dice pool system, and players typically take the highest number rolled to determine their success or failure. So for every donation of $5 or more during the stream, you can choose to give or take away a D6 from a player's next roll. If they already have disadvantage, then it'll go to the next roll after that if you're taking it away. And then also you can enter to win prizes for today's streams in the chat, not just in this one. And these prizes are over the entire day. So we have 2 sets of Dice of Disappointment from Mystery Dice Goblin, Cosplayer's Dream Kit from Dreamer Mihi, 3 ghost dice holders from Arcane Opal, 2 digital RPG sets from Green Ronin, the Expanse RPG kit, and Mutants and Masterminds RPG kit, as well as my newly copper bestseller Candela Obscura module, The Woman in Red. So thank you. More details about how to enter to win these prizes and what they are is in the chat, so be sure to check that out. With all that being said, shall we begin? I love to open my Candela Obscura games with an opening cinematic. So, water drips in the dark, echoing chamber underground, unseen by human eyes for hundreds of years. The camera twists through the passages, dust stirring on a breeze as it pans in on an ornately carved stone wall. The tableau depicting a herd of horses in full gallop, their eyes shown wide in fear. Whatever it is they're running from is obscured, crumbled, and weathered with time. As we zoom in on the lead stallion's face, closer and closer, a whirring sound comes from above as a rope drops down to pool at the base of the carved wall. A woman rappels down the rope, her skirts hitched up to keep them from tangling in the ropes as she makes her way down to solid ground. A lamp at her side provides a steady source of light in the otherwise dark space, casting a warm golden glow on the ancient stone walls. "I found the floor, Charlie. It's not much longer now," she calls up to someone high above her. Without waiting for a response, she turns to survey the space around her. "So this is old fare," she murmurs to herself, lifting the lantern up high to get a better look at the tableau. "Curious." She pulls out a notebook from a satchel at her side and begins to take notes, talking to herself as she does so. A sudden gust of wind blows through the passageway and a chill creeps up the woman's neck, causing her to shudder, drawing her shawl closer around her shoulders as she continues to step deeper into the tunnels. When she hears it, ever so faintly on the breeze, humming. "Is someone there?" she asks in a hushed tone, no louder than a whisper. "Is someone there? Someone there? Someone!" The echoes come faintly at first, getting louder like a wind building in strength. The woman calls over her shoulder for her companion, louder this time, her pulse racing as fierce sweat begins to trickle down her neck. "Charlie, hurry up. I think there's something down here." The wind reverberates once more up the passageway, the breeze growing with the sound, "Charlie, Charlie, Charlie, something here." She turns to the sound and comes face to face with something out of nightmares. Charlie isn't coming. We flip now to a bustling, busy evening at the Serpent's Lounge here in the Red Lamp District. A figure in striking gold filigree gown croons to the audience as from the stage as folks sit in rapt attention, their food forgotten as they listen to the singer tell a tale of lost lovers cursed to be parted. Booths line the back wall of the lounge with sumptuous curtains drawn back or closed depending on the occupants, and we find 4 figures sitting around a table. If you could all please describe your characters for us and what you're doing.
Who wants to go first?
Also, we have 4 whispers donated, 1 for each player. Is that taking dice away or giving them to the players? Thank you very much for the donation.
Well, I can go first if people would like. So Emily is sat sort of half turned away from the vast majority of the room. There is an open book in her lap that she is mostly reading, occasionally chiming into the conversation, as is the norm when she is hanging out with anyone, really. She is a relatively tall woman with dark curly hair that has been half pinned up and half left around her shoulders, and a beautiful blue traveling gown. You get the sense that this is very well maintained. It is expensive in nature, but it is not the dress of someone who is attempting to flaunt that wealth. She dresses very modestly. She has her head sort of tilted down and is, reading away occasionally looking up at her companions and nodding to show that she's definitely listening no matter what anyone thinks about her.
Okay. The biggest, I would assume, biggest person in this booth, this broad-shouldered, youngish man, probably not as young as he used to be. Think like very Henry Cavill, wearing
okay.
wearing a bow tie, crisp, a white button-up shirt that was laundered crisply, but is like quite wrinkled. How probably has been several days. As maybe was slept in at one point. There's like blood specks on one side, and if you look down at the man's hands, you can see blood on his knuckles as well, but not on the face. Definitely not on the face. This is Austin, and interestingly enough, I think with Emily, he also has that same look of like being used to wealth, and where he's not flaunting it. It's clear it's like a degraded or non-maintained. Um, he's also looking around, like his eyes falling on all of the hot single people here in the lounge.
Oh, and there are plenty. As for those who don't know Candela, you're in the Red Lamp District, and this is very much the bordellos, the gambling houses, the theaters, everything in this area. So lots of hot people here for sure.
Yeah, he's wishing he's in one of those booths where the curtain is closed.
Okay, who would like to go next?
Ashley is probably talking to one table over, trying to, get into the conversation that seems much more interesting over there. Uh, he is a he's a smaller frame kind of person, a little shorter, and has wavy, short brown hair, and has dimples that appear every so often whenever he has this smile come about that kind of tells everyone, oh, he got like a juicy piece of information.
Very cool. So that leaves.
So
Viv.
Viv is quite casually lounging on the chair. They're sipping a glass of something red. It could be a fine Cabernet Sauvignon, maybe some Scarlet. We don't know. And they have this deck of cards, tarot cards, that appear in their hands, and they kind of nervously shuffle. They are paying attention, but they're a bit of a fidget, and they strike quite the figure. So they're about average height, slender-ish build for somebody who's masculine, but they are in feminine clothing. So a lady's white blouse with what look to be pearl buttons, but if you look closer, you'd see they're fake. Okay, and a split riding skirt. There is a silk kind of shawl which is just thrown on the back of their chair. It's quite nice. It's quite lovely. But yet again, if you looked close, there's one or two spots where there's a little bit of hole or ragged that clearly not from the same kind of money and background as their friends. And they're just enjoying the time. They're enjoying the vibes of this place. They do know there are some people looking at them because while they do have simple but flawlessly executed makeup, they also have a full beard. And this complete dichotomy of masculine and feminine, the regulars here know Viv well, and many of them have gotten a reading or rather looked for some gossip. But those who are new, there's the odd look, but they don't care.
Yeah. And for the most part, it's absolutely normal here in the Red Lamp District. And honestly, while this is 1907, just shifted slightly to the side, it is it's an alternate universe. So we have another whisper. So Viv, you have another D6. And the whisper from before was everyone got a D6. They didn't get it taken away from them. Just so you know. Okay. So, yes, you are all here. You have been regularly coming to. You have been regularly coming to the Serpent's Lounge, just having meals on and off, maybe once a week, once a month, something like that. Ever since you retired from Candela Obscura, it has been a little while. Since you last had a job with them, but it's always nice to reconnect with each other. So you are here listening to the music. Is there anything that you wanted to talk about before I move on? No?
I think there's nothing pressing, but Emily's kind of flipping through her book, looks up, and it's just like, Austin, would you please shut your mouth, or at the very least go and talk to someone? You're driving me to distraction.
He sort of like takes his hand underneath the jaw.
Yeah, that's better.
Yes, I do think I need a refreshment on my drink. And he stands up and like goes over to the bar where he can see like a smooth-faced younger man, and just sort of like leans in very smoothly and like puts his elbow on the bar and a fist on his chin.
Oh, hey there. The guy immediately turns to him.
Yes. Good evening to you. And he looks at the bartender and like just there's a 2 right here.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't help but notice you. You have a glow about you, an aura, I might say.
Well, I appreciate that. You're not too shabby looking yourself.
Yes, I've heard that as well.
He absolutely is giving you a look up and down.
Listen, I've got some plans tonight, but do you come here often? I'd love to see you here again.
Wow. For you, I'd come back anytime.
Here, you can call on me here. And he like pulls out a small calling card.
Mm-hmm.
Little does the other man know, but it's not Austin's apartment. It's Ashley's flat that's where the telephone is
Yes.
listed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Austin is homeless is such a it's not the right word. He's just staying
He's
with
a
friends.
grafter. He's on a journey.
I'm a wanderer. Yes.
Yeah.
And the bartender plunks 2 drinks down in front of you. Probably whatever this gentleman was drinking before is what has been put down in front of you.
And Austin like lifts it and like will toast him, clink clink, and then
Hey, I agree.
and like walk backwards back to the booth as he's like sipping and like smoldering. And then sits
Ashley's
down.
gonna confront Austin, just like, did you really give another card? I don't need more strange men in my already strange household.
Actually, if you could just take a message for me every once in a while.
Austin, if you could at least change the bed sheets when you're done once in a while.
The message I am receiving are not meant for my ears.
You've heard much more scandalous things in your time, Ashley, I'm sure.
You know he was just going to sit here and look like a sad puppy if he didn't talk to anyone. See, we would have gotten this all night.
In fairness, he was bothering Emily as well, so there was that too.
See, Ashley?
Well, Austin's always bothering me. That's nothing new.
That makes 2 of us. Raises a glass to that.
And as you raise a glass to that, applause breaks through your conversation as the singer on stage blows a kiss to the audience, and Elias Booth, the owner of the Serpent's Lounge, comes on stage. Today, she is presenting more femme with an ornate red ball gown and striking makeup, their hair piled high on their head, as they say, "Hello, my darlings. We have a treat for you tonight. A famous act, long retired from the circus, who rarely performs, will be showing her world-famous act for you today. Be not alarmed, but also don't try what you see on stage tonight unless you are exceptionally limber. I give you Leilani Satomi." And everyone around applauds.
Finally. And Austin like settles in, eager for the show.
And as the four of you know, Leilani Satomi is your old lightkeeper. You haven't seen them in quite some time, and seeing a performance by Leilani is a very big deal. So the spotlight hits stage right, revealing the contortionist, a vision of fluid grace and extraordinary flexibility. Their body twists and bends in ways that seem to defy the possible. Movement after movement, they speed up until they end with a sweep of their leg extended over their head with a fluid elegance and a perfect vertical split that ends in a bow, their hand over their heart. As the crowd begins to applaud, Leilani's eyes flick over to your table as she settles her foot back on the stage once more.
Emily just sort of sighs, has shut her book, but kept the page with her finger, and is just like, well, I suppose we're going to have to find out what it is they want from us.
But we're retired.
Well, so I thought, but it seems not, if we've been called here.
Viv tucks their deck of tarot into the folds of their clothing and exasperatedly takes a long drink.
It's amazing how limber and alive Leilani has stayed after all this time.
No, Austin, no.
I'm just complimenting her talent.
Austin, our lightkeeper? Come on.
No.
Never
Seriously.
once in my life have the thought even crossed my mind.
That's not true. You know that's not true.
I know that's not true.
We all know it's not true. We've met you, Austin. We know what's in your mind.
What is it? Rain on Austin parade today.
Yep, apparently so.
Mm.
And it isn't long until Leilani does indeed step over and sit down at your booth. Fingers crossed, head in hands. "Oh, hello there, my circle of willful wanderers."
Leilani looking fabulous as always.
"Thank you, you two. I have a bit of a mission for you, an assignment, should you want to take it. I know that you're retired, and I absolutely understand, but this is delicate. And I do believe, and my fellow lightkeepers agree, that you are likely the only ones truly suited for the job."
Well, it's nice to know we have a legacy, if nothing else.
You do indeed.
Not sure if that's interesting.
A professor, Professor Chloe Yannick, and her companion Charles Smith have gone missing. They were supposed to be exploring Old Fair, which is always a lovely thing to hear. And Professor Yannick's research was going to the Endless Descent. The four of you have been there before and know exactly what it entails. And so I thought that perhaps you could take this assignment on, should you be willing.
Yannick, is this professor related to Candela Obscura in some way?
She is not. She is simply interested in the history of Old Fair. She has been warned of the dangers, but she insisted. She is relatively young for a professor, and I think that she wanted to make her
Oh,
mark. And that is always... It spells trouble, is what it does.
Yes, yes.
The word
The
trouble.
youth in academia. Well, they never
Austin.
cease.
Austin's
Um,
face lights up at that word.
how long have they
Mm.
been? How long have they been gone?
They have been gone for the better hand of a week.
A week.
Yes.
Oh,
You're only coming to us
They
now. They've been gone a
they
week.
they were expected to return yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But okay.
They
Sorry.
left on their... Yes, they left to go delving in. Professor Yannick had heard of a potential collapse in the Endless Descent, and that there was something to discover there. And so her research had led her in that direction. And you know how long it takes to get down there.
Hmm.
These stairs are immense. And so when she didn't return yesterday,
Hmm.
her research assistant came to me.
Oh well. No one else is going to do it, are they?
Why you?
We are friends of a nature.
So this is a favor we're doing for your friends.
Oh, you will be paid, as always, as members of Candela. That is no question. And hazard pay as well. It is not a safe task that I ask you to do.
When is it ever?
Yes, well, delving into old fare is much more dangerous than dealing with bleed effects that are up above on the surface.
Well,
Should you wish to not do it, I can always ask the Circle of Smoke and Soil.
oh God, no.
But I...
Not the
Mm,
circle of smoke and
no.
soil.
Oh no. Those they're lovely, but they would die within minutes of descent. No,
We would
absolutely.
have to go anyway.
We would
Yeah,
have to then go
we're-
and save them too. No,
It's a waste of time to ask them
No,
when
no.
you would just have to send us again.
they're lovely. They're lovely people.
And well,
Uh-huh.
They're absolutely lovely. And Michelle does a wonderful rotisserie. But no,
This is an actual circle. She gives you all a knowing look, and you maybe get the sense that you've been had a little bit. She was pulling one over on you, but she says, very well then. You know where the Endless Descent starts. From what I've been told, this passageway that was uncovered leads from the 14th step. So
okay.
bring supplies. It will
Yeah.
probably take you a couple of days to get there.
Fine.
Well,
Okay.
yes. Leave first thing in the morning, I suppose.
Well, sooner rather than later, but the morning is as good a time as any. Stay safe down there. There's no way to contact you once you're down there. And I have supplies for you should you need them. And if you do not have your bleed detectors or bleed containment vials anymore, whatever they may be, she provides.
Okay.
So this might be out of character. The 14th step.
Yes.
In reality, 14 steps wouldn't be that far down.
Except for the fact that the Endless Descent, each individual stair is 72 feet wide by 108 feet long, and they are 24 feet tall.
Yeah, each step is basically the size of like the depth of a house, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're
So
looking
you have to
what,
climb down the step.
340 feet down?
Yeah, so like 230, 240 meters. It's a lot.
It is a
Or a feat,
long
sorry,
distance.
feat.
I would say, why don't we have a roll about it to see how far down you all have been before? Who would
Yay.
like to roll this? I would say, let's see, what would it be? Let's make this a focus roll. Inspect, analyze, remember.
I have
Okay.
a 2 in focus.
So do I. So,
Oh, wait, then you do it.
all right. Okay. Ba-ba-ba.
And remember that you do have an extra d6 to use on this.
We can use those whenever, one time.
I will say it's a one-time use. You can use it whenever you'd like. If you get a d6 removed, it is your next roll.
Got it.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be weird. I'd like to remove the d6 from this roll.
So 5 was my highest.
5, a mixed success. I would say probably you've only been as far as, let's see, which one is it? I have my handy book here. You've been as far as, let's say, the 8th step. So you all know about it, and this has gone as far, like people have tracked as far as the 118th step who have made it back alive.
Okay.
There are people who have disappeared who've tried to go further down, who knows, but you know about, and I'll just show you the lovely photo on page 134 for those who have it. Let's see if I can do this. Na, 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 na. So that is the 6th step. And that is, it's almost like a hive design carved into the side of the step. And there are creatures that you've absolutely heard of, but not encountered, thankfully, that are called sclereals. They are massive moth eel monstrosities, is the best way to describe them. And they are suffused with bleed. My favorite word to say when related to bleed is suffused, if you had not heard that before.
Okay.
I'm starting to get a little
Well-
freaked out. Okay. Right, so that means our plans for this evening have suddenly cleared up?
We're packing.
I think we should be preparing, if that's what you're implying.
Well, I'm always prepared.
No, I don't think that's... Oh, you know what? Go talk to your man.
See you in the morning.
Yes.
And he finishes his drink.
Ashley, you're more than welcome to stay at mine tonight if you wish.
I will take you up on that.
Probably a good idea.
Let me just pack what I need and I'll come over.
Okay. So,
Like,
you spend your evenings as you will. Leilani leaves you to it and goes off to talk to fans in the crowd. And the next morning, did you settle on a time or did you just say the next morning?
I think we should head out as early as possible, really.
I feel
We want
like
the lights, but...
Yeah, I feel like because we were like an established circle when we would say we'll meet in the morning. We all knew what time that was, you know. That was like, it was a thing that we don't even have to say anymore, you know. It's just like
6 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Krifu, you have 2 more d6s.
Ah, hey. Okay, cool. Thank you. Austin.
Hey, these are like free drives for y'all.
Yeah.
Start using those.
Yeah.
Despite the early morning and the late night, Austin is there, probably wearing the same shirt as before, but this time, and I know we can pick gear during the assignment, but I wanted to pick this one at the beginning because it it's a part of what he wears when going into Old Fair, and that's body armor. So I imagine he's got like a blazer that is sewn into it, like leather plates basically, and like a big backpack with gear and stuff and whatever else might be in there. The soldier's gear is really. If we weren't going into Old Fair, I don't know why I would need any of these things in a typical investigation.
You never know. Okay, so I will say that with your armor, it will be more difficult for you to take body marks. So it would need to be an absolute failure to take a body mark instead of a mixed success.
Right. It lets me soak one body.
Yes.
And he's probably got like pads also that he's like elbow and knee pads sort of thing, and maybe even like a leather skull cap. They just like cinches on as we're getting ready to go down.
What has everyone else done to prepare to delve into Old Fair? Obviously, bringing ropes and things to rappel down.
I think Ashley would have definitely tried to read up on what he would know or whatever information has been given to him in the course of his work for Candela Obscura so far. So any and all information just to get like a mental head start.
Okay, go ahead and roll your choice in this case, either survey or focus.
I will do survey.
Okay. And you have an extra d6 if you would like to use it.
My highest was a 6.
Hey, and did you have that? Was that one gilded or no?
It wasn't gilded.
Okay,
but also
just
this
checking.
is my gilded die.
Ooh, pretty. Okay, a 6 is an absolute success. So what information are you looking for specifically?
Stepwise, what would we encounter, and anything that we should be forewarned about, and about like not architecture, but like how the layout and stuff like that. So there's no blindsiding, even if our lights.
Yeah, so some of the things that you were able to look into, researchers have been cataloging the, this is why I have to have so many notes up because I forget names, the Endless Descent. People have been cataloging this and doing research, and like historians love this kind of stuff. And so a lot of these things are under lock and key because they don't want it to get out to the rest of New Fair. Because, of course, bleed and its effects are hidden from the general populace. And so they don't even know that magic is a thing because the people of Old Fair had tried to cultivate and use bleed to power things like the general population of New Fair uses electricity. And so that was a major part of what caused the thinning, that caused the rupture, that caused all of the problems. And Old Fair descended into the ground. So, looking into this, you learn that while you do have to rappel down all of these steps, it is, already pre-established. There's pythons and ropes and like lever systems and everything. So it is not every single time you have to do everything over again. Like people want to make it easier to get down. You know that a lot of the steps here don't have anything special about them. So like that 6th step is the first one that has anything different about it. And then further down, I think it's the 24th step is the next one that has something and I'll just go ahead and tell you about it. So sorry, the 36th step is the next one that has something, and that's an archaeological encampment is located there. No one's quite sure what happened to the people who had made that encampment, but they were never seen again.
That was step 34?
36.
36, okay.
Yeah. And so this is the first time that something has been seen between the 6th and the 36th steps. That there was this shaking in the ground, and something had been revealed. And so that's why this Professor Yannick wanted to go and research it and see what's there. And you do also hear warnings, or read about warnings about, you had a full success, about the Sclivreals, that a lot of people don't believe that they're real, while others say that they uncovered texts about them that their screech can literally rip the soul from your body. So lots of terrifying things.
I wonder if Ashley would pack like earwax or cotton in that case.
I think in a sort of similar vein, Emily's preparation would have been to also do some research, but more in the vein of following the trail of that professor's research to see if she had put forth any theories, any insights into what she expected to find down there, so that we have sort of an idea both of what she thought we could be facing and also of what she's pursuing, so it's easier to locate her.
Okay, that's going to be a focus roll.
Lovely. We'll check what I am. Lovely. So I got a 6, and that was on my gilded die.
Well, you haven't spent any drives yet, so that's.
I haven't, but it's nice to. It's nice.
Yeah, it's still nice to get.
Good to know it's rolling hot.
Yeah. So just so our viewers know about this, so people have drives and they have resistances. Drives can add d6s like you guys are doing with your donations. So they add d6s to the rolls. And then if you have a gilded die, a special die, then you can regain the drives that you spend. The drives that y'all are giving them are one and done. They go away, and then you need to donate some more. But otherwise. So, okay, with a 6 then on your lovely gilded die, you are easily able to locate her research, no problem whatsoever. And you can see that what she's interested in is learning more about the history of Old Fair as told by Old Farrens. And so she's been looking for the archives specifically. Right. And she thinks that what came through with this 14th step may very well be the archives that she's been looking for.
Okay. Fab. Yeah, in which case Emily would gather all that information, dress in sensible climbing clothes, and go forth to meet everyone.
Viv?
So what Viv would like to do in preparation for the night before is take out their tarot and try and do a reading, not just to be, because obviously they know it's going to be dangerous. They already know this. There's no point. But rather to try and get a guide or a suggestion of, is there any one item that they should bring that may be useful or crucial at some point in what is about to happen?
Interesting. Okay, go ahead and roll sense for me.
Okay, and I'm going to use one of the donated die already.
Okay.
Oh my god, that was terrible. I got a 1, a 2, and a 3.
You, I mean, do you want to spend a resistance if you have one? To re-roll your dice?
Yeah, I'll spend one of my resistances.
Okay, so you don't get to re-roll the donated die, but you do get to re-roll the other 2.
Okay. Changing the dice. Okay, and this time I got a 6.
Okay, People are rolling really well. So, with a 6 then, what sensation do you get when you are drawing your tarot cards? Is there anything otherworldly that you experience?
Hmm. So when I'm sensing bleed, what I feel is a tightness on my chest,
Mhm.
like a burning hand is gripping my heart. But when I'm drawing from my tarot, what I get is it's like a fuzziness in the brain, and it's like
Mhm.
a half-heard whisper that I can't quite make out.
Interesting that you say that, as that whisper turns into a roar. And you get the sensation of whatever it is something big. It is something that you have never seen before, and you get this kind of grip. There's no bleed here, but
Mm.
it's almost as if you are feeling that a phantom sensation of that tug, and you know that whatever this is, physicality might be a problem.
Mm.
As in, might not be fully physical being.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Hmm.
Mm. So, like, I'm trying to think what would be a useful item to bring with me then.
Well, I will
Hmm.
say definitely your bleed containment vial would probably be useful, whatever it
Oh,
may be.
without question, I'll be bringing my bleed
Mhm.
containment vial. It looks like a heavy leaded glass bottle, the likes of which wealthy women would put fine perfume into.
Okay.
Um, would I would I have any wards in my possession that I could bring?
Ooh, interesting. I would say with a 6, you would have 1.
Hmm. Yeah. Then that's what I would be bringing my ward.
Yeah.
Um, and
What does it look like?
my ward looks like it looks like a seashell. It not looks like it is. It's a small whelk seashell, and
Mhm.
it has little etchings engraved in it that have then been like they're in the they're in the old fair script.
Old Baron, yeah.
Yeah, and those little engravings were filled in with pieces of silver. I found it in a little oddities and curios shop
Mhm.
on like the edge of the Red Lamp district.
So that's what Old Farron looks like.
Yeah, so and
Doo-doo.
the gentleman who had it tried to tell me that it was some all-powerful magical device and was looking for an obscene amount of money
Mhm.
until I told him that he really needed to be careful and named his mistress, that his wife was becoming friends with her. And he got very
Ooh,
spooked because I should have not have known her name, and he very quickly let me out of the shop, selling it at a fraction of its price. So that is my ward.
very nice. Okay, so you all have gathered your supplies, prepared, done your research, and you all meet at one of the many entrances into Old Fair. Now, a lot of the entrances into Old Fair are located in South Soffit. It's kind of like the poorer area. It's where Viv grew up,
Mhm.
and it is generally, it's just the closest access to Old Fair in general, simply because of its location. And so, generally, people aren't really supposed to know about Old Fair, but you know what people aren't supposed to know. Uh, and all that. So you make your way down into Old Fair from here. There is an old well that has is very large, has seen a lot of use, and it's never even a second thought to see people going down this well. It doesn't retain any water anymore, anything like that. And as you drop down in, you find yourselves in a very rubble picked over area that is the start of the outskirts of Old Fair. Bright and shiny in the morning, so probably coffee and food bundled up with you.
Well, I think Emily definitely has like a little flask of coffee that she's like holding to her. She's like, okay, is everyone ready to get going, or do we want to do anything last minute?
Might as well head off. I mean, the farthest we've been down before was the 8th step. Now we're going down to 14.
Yes, it's going to be an endeavor. Let's call it that.
It's twice as deep as we've ever been before.
Okay. You know what? Close enough, I think. I don't.
Sorry, what was that?
Sorry, you got cut off there.
That's okay. I don't want to be the one down first. Someone else can go first.
I suppose Austin will like pull out like grab a lantern that's like connected to his backpack and I don't know, just turn it on. Like you have to light it and then turn the flame up.
Yeah, and that can be a freebie item. That's not going to take one of your 3 items. Don't worry.
Because I don't have anything. I don't have a lantern. I guess there's the blank item. I'd be happy to put that in there. But I would imagine stuff like ropes and lanterns, things like that. We need that anyway.
Yeah, like that'll all be considered like your general circle items.
Right. So yeah, he'll hold the lantern up and lead the way because that makes the most sense. That's why he's wearing the body armor.
Yeah. You are the soldier.
How long will it take us to get down there?
Down there? It depends on how well you can climb. It can be a day. It could be longer, especially if you come across anything dangerous.
So we probably wouldn't want to camp on the 14th step because we know that that's where the professor went missing.
Yeah, we probably want to pick a safe middle one that's not
like the 12th, maybe.
Got anything on it as far as we know.
Not the 6th. Definitely not the 6th.
No. No. Even 8 is too close to 6.
10. A nice middle.
10. I like 10.
10 sounds acceptable.
Out of context, it sounds like you're just like, what's a good number?
I don't
10's
like
a nice
6.
middling number.
I like 10. 10 is good.
10 is good.
Oh, we have everyone loves Viv apparently. We have 2 more whispers to Viv.
Ooh.
I can tell you now that's from a tenner that my mammy gave me to donate to the stream.
Okay. Okay. So it's just the one then.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So you make your way through Old Fair, and it's this uncomfortable sensation whenever you've had to be down here, which is more times than you would prefer. There is this sense of timeless age down here as you look upon a civilization that no longer exists. It has been 2,000 years since its destruction, and things have been picked clean significantly from everything that is on the surface. But going deeper in, you start to see more pristine areas. I would say, Austin, I'm going to need you to make a roll as you are in the lead. I need you to roll your choice, depending on how you want to play it, either survey or sense.
Survey makes the most sense.
But
Yes. Regardless, I have 0 dice in both of those. But
but
I
you
have
do have some
I
dice.
have extras.
Yeah.
I have 3 extra.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just use. Can I use all 3 with this one, or do I need? Can I only? Is only 1 per?
Yeah, we're treating them like drives, so you can spend as many of them as you want.
I'm gonna do 2. I'm gonna do 2 and keep my
Okay.
third.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm just rolling 2 dice, highest number.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Both were a 2.
Ooh, failure.
He's still a little hungover.
Thinking about the night before, a little bit distracted.
Mhm.
So you are perfunctorily scanning, but you're not really paying attention. And so, Austin, because of that, you don't hear a skittering.
Okay,
Don't hear it
I won't react.
until as you are making your way over to the endless descent. You know that you're not far away now. There is a momentary flash as this large creature comes flying out of the opening. It is elongated with extremely long limbs and wings and has a large toothless mouth, as it is one of the Sclereals that has come launching itself out of the endless descent. Now, there is no initiative order in Candela, but seeing as Austin did not notice the sound, you are immediately going to take a mark of bleed as it comes rushing over you and just brushes against you in a warning. So please tell us, what does bleed feel like to Austin?
Hmm. Uh, it is for Austin. It comes on like brain freeze.
Mm.
Like he just like, and it starts like a small thin circle around like a crown, and there's just like
Mhm.
it starts this like slow icy feeling, and as it grows, it starts to travel down his body in this coldness, this just cold freezing
Mhm.
sensation.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is like you don't take any body marks here, but it just scrapes along your head, and you feel that cold sensation dripping down you as this thing is silent currently, but wings up around all of you, and you see its many eyes looking down at you. So, what do you all do? As a reminder, I do not roll any dice in this game. I simply react to your terrible rolls.
Mm,
These things are like the size of a whale, just FYI.
oh God,
Oh,
I was
okay.
thinking.
They are massive.
Oh, I was thinking like 2 meters or something. That's enormous.
Ooh. Based on the drawing that I'm looking at right here, itty bitty people,
Um,
giant creatures.
do, do you think we could run from this creature?
We could try.
You certainly can try. You do know that you are going down into the endless descent that it came from.
Yeah. Um, Viv's not a fighter. They're a lover. And I'm not trying to seduce it. uh, oh God.
It is winging around silently around you, occasionally scraping its claws against the wall.
Do we have a chance of fighting it? I mean,
Oh, yeah. This thing is filled with bleed. You
but
do know that you can take care of bleed creatures in one way or another, and this is a physical creature as well. So if anyone has a gun, for example,
hmm
I could take a heavy weapon. Is that like
Shotgun.
a shotgun or
yeah.
even I would even imagine like a Tommy gun.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Okay. So if no one else
I
has
got
a
way too
gun,
excited by you saying Tommy gun.
No.
then I'll mark that as my second gear item.
Okay.
So fighting the brain freeze bleed that's coming on, he
hmm
like reaches underneath the bottom
hmm
of his backpack and just quickly with one hand detaches the Tommy gun and like
hmm
checks that the circular round is attached.
hmm
And I guess we'll just like point it
Yeah.
straight up and
Also, we're absolutely pretending the Tommy guns were made 11 years earlier than they actually were.
Mhm.
We're going to ignore that fact. I just looked up when they were made.
11 years earlier. Okay.
Yeah. Someone invented these very early because of fighting old fare. Not old fare, fighting otherware. So yes, in that case, you need to roll control to shoot.
Control. Okay. I'm going to spend my second die. So I have one die in
Okay.
control. I spend my second die, and then I can just use a drive to spend a third die.
hmm
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yep, absolutely.
A 1, a 2, and a 3.
Oh.
No, I'm spending resistance. I'm gonna re-roll that
Okay.
3 then. Do I re-roll one die or?
You re-roll whatever. So the circles, the action items that you have, that is what you re-roll. So if you
Okay.
spent 2 drives, then you just re-roll the 1.
6. Oh.
Amazing. You have a little bit of a panic for a split second as you see this creature, and then immediately your soldier training kicks in. And this is, as Anticor said, it's a prototype, isn't it? uh, it's a Tommy gun prototype. So like it takes you a second to be like, oh no, wait, this needs to, and you adjust it, and then you're able to spray the bullets. And because it was a 6, because it's a full success, there's no damage to you as you do this.
Thank you.
And so like there's no like kickback. This thing doesn't attack you as well, but you spray bullets and it screeches in pain. I'm gonna need everyone to roll sense for me.
So with 0, you roll with disadvantage.
Correct. So you would roll 2 and take the lower number.
5.
I'm getting lucky today.
5.
I
Okay,
got a
mixed
6.
success. 6. Okay.
I'm gonna spend my extra. A 6.
Okay.
I got a 4 on my gilded die.
Okay, amazing. So if you've spent a drive before, you get to regain that drive. So we have 3 mixed successes and 2 successes, if I remember right, or was it 2 and 2?
2 and 2, I think.
Okay. Okay, so first of all, before I say anything, we are only $10 away from $3,800 raised for our initiative, which is amazing. And I'm seeing a notification, so I believe that we have more. 3 negative whispers. Oh boy. So Ashley, Austin, and Emily, Austin, not Austin. Ashley, Austin, and Emily, next rolls, you're rolling with 1 less die.
That's
Just
so
so you know.
mean.
We've
Uh-huh.
been rolling too
Well,
well. They want to see terrible things happen.
exactly. So our full success, you immediately are able to plug your ears as you hear this screech coming and you're like, oh no. But our mixed successes, you have a choice. You can block it out, which means that you are going to block out a mark of bleed, or you can prepare something to stop this creature.
Hmm.
What would you like to do?
So we can choose to take a bleed or say that we had prepared something in our equipment that was going to help us in this instance. Is that it?
Exactly. Yep.
I'm going to take the bleed because I have a weird ability, let them in. Whenever you take 1 or more bleed marks, you also gain additional information about the phenomenon that harmed you. Ask the GM 1 question about the source of the bleed.
I love it. What question would you like to ask me?
What is this creature's vulnerability?
This creature's vulnerability? Ooh, interesting. I would say, such a curious question. They're very quiet. They're very long and spindly. There are a couple of vulnerabilities. So physical is obvious. You can see that it's bleeding sluggishly now. So you could always just aim for the head, something like that. Or maybe a little whisper in your ear about this from taking that bleed, that squeeze on your heart, that they're vulnerable to song. They can't stand music, and it causes them physical pain.
Okay. I think.
And if you know the animated series that's a reference to.
Okay. Then I'll let you resolve the rest of the scene before I take my next action, okay?
Okay.
The option was to take a bleed
Or be prepared.
or be prepared.
Oh, wait. I can do things. Take a bleed and be prepared. I think that was the way it goes. It's hot.
Or or not take a bleed.
Or not be prepared. That's the thing. There we go. We got it.
Yeah,
Brain
I'm
got
not
there
ready. I'm
eventually.
not ready to take another point of bleed, and I have a gun.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I was a full success, so I've
Okay,
blocked
yeah. And then was Ashley a full success?
Yes.
Okay, cool. We're good. We're good. Ugh. Heat is making my brain, and pain is making my brain. So we'll get there. Okay, so that being said, hey Viv, what do you do?
I look at the rest of them and I say, I'm sorry, I hadn't warmed up, but I've got this. And I take a step forward and I start to sing.
Hey, go ahead and roll sense for me.
Okay. I got a 6, but not on my gilded die.
Okay, full success as you begin to sing a la Princess and the Goblin. It begins to writhe in pain, and it is like shaking and slamming against the wall. And as it does so, it just speeds off into the distance, trying to get as far away from you as it can.
I don't know if I should be insulted or not. I didn't think it was that bad.
Well, it was a good call. Well done.
Are you okay, Austin?
I'll be fine. It's just will take a little while for this brain freeze to wear off.
Okay, try not to think too hard.
But he doesn't have to try.
Yeah, he doesn't do much of that anyway.
He takes off the backpack and sort of glares and reattaches the Tommy gun.
I can carry something if you want, if that would help.
No, I should be fine.
I think just as a precaution, because we've encountered a scleral so early on already, Ashley's gonna hand out like cotton to everyone to put in their ears just in case.
Look, I didn't think my singing was that bad, Ashley. Seriously.
This isn't about your singing. Your singing was lovely. It was lovely.
You're too kind.
This is for their singing.
All right. What are, we're not even on the first step properly. We've already seen his scleral.
So that means it couldn't get any worse, right? Yes, right. Oh, I need a drink.
Or if there's shaking, this earth shaking that's happening down there, maybe it's scaring them up.
Maybe.
That would be bad news for everyone in New Fair.
Yes, it was. That creature was enormous.
Yes.
Like it was mind-boggling.
Yeah, it was quite a size.
And it was flying too. I mean, I know there are the creatures of the sea that get to that size, but a creature of the air, I mean, oh.
I mean, like massive eel. Like it wasn't fat like a whale, but just like scale wise.
Viv does not care.
Right.
It was hideously huge.
Oh yeah, 100%.
If one of those made it to the surface, I'd like to see how the OAP
OUP.
how the OUP would try and cover that up.
Well,
which is the Office of Unexplained Phenomena. For those who don't know.
Well, I mean, look, the creature. A little birdie told me that the creature did not like the song, so that was why I did my performance. If one of these creatures got up to the surface, at least our friends in the Radam district would be safe.
Small miracles, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. Austin, would you like me to lead the way for now, just while you're recovering?
If you feel up to it, Viv.
Of course. Anything to help our beloved circle. So I'll take the lead now.
Okay. So you head on over to the entrance to the Endless Descent, and you see it's rather simple. You're in this brick square surrounded by all manner of arches that no one's ever really been able to figure out what they symbolize. Some people say that it's political, some religious. The text hasn't been translated, so no one really knows. But you head over to this entrance that this scleral absolutely like clawed its way through to get out. Because it's that big. But you make your way over there and you can see looming down the first step. There are pythons, there are ropes all leading down into the darkness. And you cannot see beyond, I would say, that first step, realistically, into what's beyond. It just looks like a dark void.
I'd forgotten how big this cursed place is. Oh God, my back will be killing me tomorrow. Well, Viv goes over.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you all head on down, and I'm just going to have one roll for this. I'm not going to make you roll for every single step because that would be absolutely ridiculous. Let's see how you do with move. And as a reminder, everyone but Viv has a negative on their next roll.
Oh Yeah, shit. I only. Oh god.
Unless you spend the extra d6 that you had, in which case it negates it.
I only have a 1 in move, so I'm going to spend one of my donated d6s.
Okay.
So.
I'm gonna spend another drive. I've got
Oh my god.
3 more in nerve.
Okay.
That's a 6.
Okay.
Ashley got a 3.
Ashley got a 3.
Viv,
Okay.
Viv got 2 3s.
Oh no.
Emily got a 4.
Okay, that was a mixed success. So 4 are 3s. It sounds like I'm just saying numbers now. Viv, you're going first down this rope, and this is not something that you've done in a while, and so you kind of forget how you're supposed to do this kind of thing. As a reminder, these steps are 24 feet high. And so, Viv, as you are trying to rappel down, you slip up and you drop
Yeah.
on that first step.
Yeah.
And in doing so, you're going to take a body as you land hard on the ground below.
As Viv is falling, I feel like she cries out, I shouldn't have worn the kitten heels.
Who would have gone after Viv? Would Ashley have done so? Okay.
Ashley would have gone after Viv.
I feel like Ashley, and you can tell me yes or no on this, you probably would have realized what was happening and tried to stop Viv from falling, which would have led to you falling.
Falling.
So you are also going to take a body. After this, it'll be fine getting down, but this first one is a problem. For our mixed success and our full success, mixed success, you have a little bit of a rope burn from trying, like the way that you're trying to go down. You just kind of burn your hand a little bit as you go.
I've got delicate hands made only for turning pages in books. I'm not meant to be on ropes.
And our dear soldier has no problem at all. So you make your way down the first step. And you find Ashley and Vivian fallen in a heap kind of on that first step.
Are you okay? Do you need a hand up?
I think my dignity suffered more than my body. Oh.
Yeah. It's fine. We didn't see it.
Oh, you're too kind, dear. Everyone saw it.
Remember when we first came down here? I think all of us took a good slip at least a few times.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I've definitely tumbled down a couple of these.
My hands were ruined from the rope. I had to wear gloves for a week afterwards. It was awful.
Oh, here we are again. Can't say I was expecting it, honestly.
No.
No, so much for retiring. Oh well, at least we're getting paid.
Still, a quiet retirement would have been nice.
But there's a fabulous dress that I've been, my eye has been on, so.
And Ash is going to crack his back. Ash is just going to get up and crack his back.
So
Okay.
you make...
Well.
Yep, sorry, go ahead.
I guess we go on.
Continuing on and on. So you continue to make your way down the steps, being much more careful about the rest of the ropes than you did with the first one. So no repeat mistakes here. You get to the 6th step, which is in all circles known as the hive. And you can see that on the side of the step, there are all different kinds of honeycomb shapes that have... like looking in them, miniature buildings carved into them in what isn't the classic Old Feridan style. You don't recognize the style, and it's always been confusing because if Old Ferens made these steps, then why aren't these buildings in their style? And you continue onward further down to the 10th step, which is where you all decided to stop for the day, correct?
Mm,
That is good.
Okay.
it's a good,
Okay.
good, yeah,
It's a good number.
yeah.
So you set up camp for the evening, whatever that may be for all of you. And as you settle down for the evening, you start to hear just this whooshing sound of a breeze of some kind coming up from the endless descent.
Mm.
Just a gentle breeze, and you start to hear mutterings and whispers coming from the deep. No clear words or anything like that, just it seems almost like speech. You strain your ears and you can't make anything out of it.
Is it persistent?
It is occasional, but it comes in waves, it comes and goes. There's a cadence to it that seems almost familiar.
Can anyone else hear that?
Yes, I think
Uh,
that's.
I thought it was just me. When I read my cards, it sounds similar to this, but not like this.
I know they say the wind talks, but this is
No, this isn't the wind.
not it.
This is different.
Can I roll a sense to see if I get anything from this?
Absolutely, roll a sense.
Cool. Oh, okay. So I got a 6, but I got a 5 on my gilded die.
Okay.
Although I haven't spent any intuition drive, so it doesn't make sense to use the gilded die. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'll take the credit. I'll take the 6.
Yeah. In this case, it does
Yeah.
not matter. So
Yeah.
you take the 6, and for reference for those watching, you can choose to take the gilded die to regain drives, and if that is a failure, a mixed success, it can still be worth it versus taking a full success. So on a 6, you are listening to this, straining to hear anything, and you hear one sentence clearly. It is coming. And that is where we were going to take our break. Well,
Love it. Love an
Thank you.
ominous moment.
hey now, it wouldn't be Candela without a little bit of creep factor. So hey,
True.
thank you everyone for watching so far and donating. So just to do a little check-in on our lovely Tiltify, we are at $3,790 raised so far for PCRF, which is absolutely incredible. If you want to help or hinder our players, as a reminder, a donation of $5 or more will allow you to choose which you would like to do for our lovely players. So that is over there on the Tiltify, which I'm sure is in the chat right now. And hey, we're trying to hit a $5,000 goal. So by the end of the weekend, so you should definitely help contribute to that. Let's see. There are also prizes that you can enter in to win in the chat, including a module for Candela written by moi. And we will continue this after our lovely break. So have a good one, everyone, and we will see you in a little while. Bye-bye. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to D8 Dungeon Drive. We are raising money for our Palestine Children's Relief Fund. So if you want to help and participate in this game and cause chaos or help the players, there is a link to the Tiltify where you can donate. And for every $5 that you donate, you can either remove a D6 from my player's dice pool, or you can gift them a D6 and give them a drive. So that is in the chat. We are currently at, I'm just refreshing really quickly. Okay, we are still at 3,790, which is way over our original goal for the year, but we're trying to get to $5,000 donated to this wonderful cause. So for this weekend, so definitely check that out. Also, there are giveaway prizes that you can enter to win in the chat. So just check that out as well. And let's get back into the game. So last we left off, our circle of willful wanderers have returned from retirement to take on one last assignment for Candela Obscura. So they have been tasked with going to find Professor Chloe Yannick and her assistant, who have gone and done a disappearing act, going to research something in Old Fair below the like the ruins below New Fair. So this is where they are located. They have made their way to the endless descent and are on the 10th step. As you awaken, it's difficult to say the following morning because there's no true time here. You've spent a very disturbing and restless time here on the 10th step of the Endless Descent as you heard, Vivian, the voice of something saying, "It is coming," from down below. So, as you awaken one by one, you know that you have 4 more steps. So, doing math, 40, a lot of feet to go. I'm not going to do that math. Hang on. Let's do a
92.
calculator. Huh?
92.
92? Okay, amazing. 92 feet descent
Sorry,
to go.
96.
96? Okay. See, you couldn't do the math either. Yeah, 96. So, still a decent distance to go down into the Endless Descent. Thankfully, not needing to go all the way down 118 steps, because that would take forever. But you awaken, you prepare. What do you do?
We head down. I mean,
Let's go, yes.
look, if there's people down there,
Yeah.
Yes.
someone's clearly in trouble. Whoever, perhaps that was the professor we heard.
Or the ghost.
I don't want to think about that.
Well,
And then, yeah.
Or what might have killed them.
I'd rather
I-
not think
also
about that.
that is
Yeah,
definitely also an option.
Yeah.
I suppose there's no sense. Any. We're going to have to go eventually.
Oh. Well, who wants to lead the way?
I think I will today.
All right. We'll take it in turns.
Okay. So Austin leads the way.
Ashley.
Oh, sorry, Austin. Yeah, Ashley. Sorry, I was looking at the A names. Ashley leads the way. Ashley, by the way, back then, totally a guy's name. If y'all didn't know that.
As was Vivian.
Yep. So, descending down to the 11th step, Ashley leads the way. As all of you are climbing down one after another, one step, then the next, you hear a rustling from up above as a half dozen squirrels go rushing past you, not even acknowledging that you are there. They are flying fast, trying to leave as quickly as they can. And you can tell this as they are bumping into each other, frantically flying out the way you came.
Is anybody else absolutely terrified to think what creature is scaring those godforsaken things?
It's not the best sign I've ever seen, no.
At the same time, it's good that we're leaving from there.
But we're going in the direction that they flew from.
No, we're leaving the direction they flew from.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Flying
I thought-
past you.
Yeah.
Going where you came from.
I mean,
Oh no.
At the very least, at least they're not going to be down there when we have to face whatever is there.
Not
Because if we
even a
have to face whatever was there and them,
That's
That's
true.
what could it
worse.
be? I mean, not even a spray from my Tommy gun, a full-on hit scared it off.
I mean, I don't know.
If only we knew something that scared them away.
Well, those creatures, they're for some bizarre reason, because of their auditory abilities, they despise the sound of music.
Well,
But
it's a lovely film, and I don't understand why they would.
thank you, my darling. But we don't know what godforsaken thing is scaring them. So I doubt that there's an opera singer. I doubt that there's some terrifying soprano. 20 steps down.
Oh,
So
I've met sopranos.
yes, they are terrifying. I'll take an alto over soprano any day.
Oh, yes.
What about a mezzo soprano?
Hmm.
I
They're
prefer
in the corner.
tenor
Nice.
myself.
Yeah, a mixture of the two.
Well,
Well, there's only
Wow.
one way to
as
find
much
Yes.
as much as it would be nice if it is just an opera singer, I fear we are
Yeah.
going to have to just progress and hope for the best.
Why did I not bring my hip flask? Austin, you don't have a drink on you, do you?
Just water.
Oh God.
I do. Ashley does. Ashley always brings a flask.
Oh, darling, that's your personal collection. I wouldn't take that from you.
Honestly,
would
at this
from-
point,
Yeah.
You wouldn't from Ashley, but you would from Austin. I like this.
100%.
it's fine. Ashley's gonna hand the flask over to Viv.
It takes a swig.
Just keep it with you for now.
Okay, right.
And
Onward and upward, or rather downward, I should say. Oh God.
forward and
Onward and downward.
And downward.
So you make your way down finally to the 14th step. And you can see here that there has indeed been a break. And something that you notice the further down you go is that the more steps you descend, the cleaner and more pristine they are. And so seeing this one here, the wall off to the side is crumpled and broken, like it has blown out somehow.
Okay.
And you can see just beyond that what looks to be, with the light of your lantern, a paved wall of some kind and a further descent.
So what I'm picturing here is that there's the wall, there's a hole or something punched through,
Yep.
and on the other side of that, we're seeing a structure inside.
A structure inside and another descent.
that's different from the stairs.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, it was the 14th step. That's what we were told, and they're not here, and there's that there. We all know what we have to do, yes?
Swimmingly from the past.
Is there
Then
any...
again, we are wanderers.
Yeah, is there... We are... Oh, God. Who picked that name again? Oh, wait. I think it was...
I think we all
Leilani.
did.
Yes. Is there any signs of blood or viscera or body parts or anything on this step?
Well, first of all, nothing like that because...
Yeah, I'm only joking,
I
but
mean,
yeah.
So go ahead and roll a survey for me.
Absolutely.
You're the one who asked, so you have to roll it.
Okay. So I got a 6 again on the non-gilded die, but I got a 4 on the gilded die. You tell me, GM, would it make sense to take the lesser success here or just go with the 6?
It is up to you what you would like to do.
Well, yet again, I haven't spent any intuition drives yet, so I'll just go with the full success.
Yeah. You would have to spend drives to regain them, so it only
absolutely
makes sense to take the 6. So as you are looking around, you have the lantern. You're just scanning around, looking for anything around, and you do see that there is no body parts, but you do see that there is what looks to be a torn bit of fabric on the ground.
Okay. Does it look like the kind of fabric one might find on a riding skirt or a man's trousers?
It looks like what you would find on a man's jacket.
Okay, right. Well, okay. Shall we go into the dark, terrible hole and descend into the infernal pits?
Um, you said the wall was blown out?
Blown out. There's rubble on the step.
Does it look like an explosion or something came through, or was it if the Professor Yannick was initially investigating like a earthquake or a cave-in or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, no?
She wasn't sure what it was. She just knew that there was some kind of explosion.
Explosion. Got it. Good. I'll take the
Um,
lead if that's okay. Sorry, Ashley.
no, Ashley just wanted to follow up on what Austin was questioning. Are there any like marks on either side of the opening suggesting what it might be?
That would be another, I would say, would it be a survey? It would be either survey or focus, because survey is search, track, spot. Focus is inspect, analyze, remember.
I think I will go with survey.
How many points have you got in survey?
I've got 2.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, and as a reminder for my players, you can give other people drives.
That's
You
why I
just
was
have
asking.
to
Yeah.
actively be helping them.
Yeah, so since I was thinking out loud,
Mhm.
I'd love to give an intuition drive to Ashley as I'm
Okay.
like standing next to
Oh,
him, sort of pondering.
I used my
Ashley,
gilded.
get a drive.
Oh, awesome. I used
Yeah, you
my
did get a
gilded.
drive, so you can roll that as well.
So I'm gonna use that. And oh, I got a 6 on the gilded.
Yes.
Okay. Now my question is, because you got a drive from from Austin because he was helping you, did you roll multiple 6s or just 1 6?
1 6. I got 1 6 and 1 5.
Okay. Because one 6 is a full success, multiple 6s is a critical success. So just keep that in mind. So a 6 on the gilded then. As you are looking around, is there something specific that Ashley is looking for? Like, does he have an idea in his head of what he's trying to find?
Yeah, so Ashley's this thing is like, well, everyone kind of just saw the squirrels kind of escape. Is this like because they were crawling out and like kind of burst to the wall, or was it actually what like looking for like scratch marks or something like that? And if it's not
Mm-hmm.
that, maybe evidence of something being burned or singed,
Mm-hmm.
or any other third thing that might be there.
Okay. The secret third thing.
The secret third thing.
So, as you and Austin are looking at this, like Austin had pointed things out, being a little bit suspicious, Ashley, you look over both sides of this explosion, and there are a couple of things you note with a full success. First of all, there are claw marks on this, very clearly from the sclereals, but it doesn't look like they were the cause of it. It looks like perhaps they had been like, "Ooh, new space. Let's go see what it is," and freaked out at whatever it was that they found.
Okay.
And so they were scrambling to get away. But also, because it was a full success and not a mixed success, you see, or rather feel, bleed covering all of the rubble around you. So if you could please tell me, what does bleed feel like for Ashley? You don't take a
Really fun
mark
for me.
because you had a full success.
All right, this is fun. This is really fun for me because it's kind of almost the exact opposite of what Austin described as, which is weird because I
Okay.
had thought about this like session 0. Um, it's similar to the feeling that Ashley gets when he eats spicy food. but it's like amped up to like a level 20. And it starts out as like a vibration like around his mouth, and it kind of travels up to his nose and like kind of fills his like sinuses in his face, and then kind of it goes down and like heats up the body, and it's just he gets very hot very quickly. And you know, beads of sweat you see just forming on his forehead that he has to like wipe off, but it's just like this vibration that's coming from within that he feels
Okay.
when that's what it feels like for Ashley.
Okay, so Ashley, you absolutely feel this overly hot sensation as you are looking over everything, and you know that it would be a very, very bad idea to touch any of the stones around you.
In that case, Ashley's definitely gonna warn everyone, like, please don't touch the stones. They have quite a bit of bleed, an unnatural amount of bleed, and whatever might be inside is, yeah, not something that we should mess with or take lightly.
They're just stones. Why would there be bleed on the walls of this place?
It is old fair.
Not exactly sure, but I guess the only way to find out is if we venture further inside.
And I will note, as practiced members of Candela Obscura, you would know that there are times when something is so suffused with bleed that whatever it touches takes on that bleed as well.
Okay. Right. Don't touch the stones. And Austin will lift the lantern and sort of like duck his. Well, I guess he doesn't have to duck. It was big enough for the sclereals to go
Yeah.
through, but steps over some of the fallen debris and into the next chamber on the 14th step.
Yeah, and being forewarned, you have no issues avoiding the stones. They are very large.
Is it worth attempting to collect or contain any of this bleed for future reference? Or is this a case of, because it is suffused in the stone, it's sort of not worth it?
I would say that, Professor, you know the abilities of your bleed containment vials and how much bleed you all are able to contain, and you would know that it would be better. This is inert. This isn't outright attacking people. It would be better to save that.
Okay.
Well, of course, if you have extra
Well,
later on, you could always do it later, but at the moment, probably not the best idea.
great.
So as each of you, one by one, steps through this blown out hole into the chamber beyond, you find that you are at the top of some kind of building. There's what looks to be almost like a skylight or a like maybe a courtyard space. It's a little bit hard to tell from where you are, but you do know, of course, that these buildings once were above ground. And so you are standing on what appears to be some kind of roof. And looking down below, you see the space below you, and you see that there is a rope tied off at the top of this roof, leading down.
Well, that's actually quite positive. That means that whatever caused this massive hole didn't take the professor and their assistant.
But something down there did.
Well, probably yes. I'm trying to be optimistic about things.
Well, let's hope.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go for it. Go for it.
Is the So we're on the roof of a very large building.
Correct.
Does it look like a palace, or what's the vibe of the building?
I would say that you know about a couple of the buildings that have been found here in Old Fair. So let me just grab my book. So you know that it is not exactly a similar vibe to, let's get to the correct page, to the House of Gold, which is a palatial building. There's also the House of Iameni, which was the personal home of Empress Iameni. It doesn't look like one of those. It looks a little bit more, it's still ornate, but it looks a
Okay.
little bit more pulled back than what you would expect on a palace.
Okay.
Just from what you can see from above.
Austin hooks the lantern onto his backpack and then kneels down to check the rope. Before he starts climbing down it, and he'll say something like, "Well, let's hope their trail doesn't run cold."
Viv is going to wait to see if the rope snaps and Austin falls to his death.
Gee, thanks.
And when he gets safely to the ground, they're going to follow after.
Yep. And this is something that does not require a roll. Yeah. So Austin checking the rope. One thing that you definitely note is that unlike the ropes on the Endless Descent, this is very new. Very likely, like being a soldier, being someone who has had to do rope knots and things like that, like part of your training, you would recognize that this is relatively new. So very likely it's the professors. And so you rappel down, and as you make your way down this rope, you can see, like, scanning around, and you have the lantern at your side, the glint of something against the wall. You can see that this wall behind you is carved. And so you descend further down, and as you wait for the others, you look up above you, and you can see that there is a carving of horses running along this wall.
Is it something that I would recognize as having particular significance?
So you go one by one down, and you're all able to see this. I would say for our Professor Emily, roll a focus.
Great.
And you all can see that one side of this carved tableau is distorted with time, misshapen, crumbled.
Double sixes.
Ooh.
Amazing. So you were doing research into what Professor Professor Yannick was. Yep. Listen, names are my nemesis. I have to look at them every time. Professor Yannick, what she was researching was very specifically, she was looking into the archives of Old Fair, trying to find them because she knew that they existed. And one of the hallmarks of what she was looking for, she had come across a piece of paper, very old, that had a description. And on that description, it mentioned, and this was translated, it mentioned stampeding horses. It mentioned this wall. And so above table, when she said curious, that's what she was looking for.
Yeah, she found it. Well, if she's survived it, it's going to be quite the discovery for her.
And double sixes, you know the name of this archive as well. It is called the Obsidian Archive. It was on that piece of paper.
Ooh, lovely. Yeah, Emily will relay this to the group. Well, I have to admire her bravery because she has certainly found the Obsidian archives. Let's just hope she lives to see the wealth of that discovery.
Is there... So, I assume we're like street level now? Air quotes around that?
Equivalent, yeah. You are what appears to be not quite inside the building. It's a little bit more of like an open space, and then there's this massive carved wall beside you.
Okay, so this building must be the archives. Surely she would check in here
I would
first.
assume. Yeah, I mean, given that she would have recognised this tableau here, I would be surprised if it wasn't immediately her first stop.
All right then. And Austin will march towards the entrance.
Okay.
I
I have a question.
Yes, I have an answer.
So, were the Obsidian archives like something that was abandoned?
What an interesting question. You know what? I'm going to need you to refocus as well.
Can I use an ability of mine?
Sure, what's your ability? Do tell.
I can spend an intuition to ask a specific question about a place, group, or a concept that I would have probably researched. And GM will tell me what I would know based on if I had researched about it or not.
Absolutely. Go ahead and spend that intuition drive. No roll necessary. The name Obsidian Archive that Emily says triggers a memory in you. You remember hearing about the Obsidian Archive, and it's a little bit surprising that Professor Yannick was looking into it and willing to come down here, in large part because you had done some research and you remember hearing about how when in the aftermath of the destruction of Old Fair, the archivists tried to protect it. And what they did using bleed created a kind of monster.
Okay.
But above all else, the archivists wanted to protect their work.
Before Ashley gets to the front door of the structure, I'd like to see if I can sense if there's any bleed at the doors or in the on the structure itself, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Roll sense.
Okay, and I'm gonna burn a drive. I might as well start using them.
Hey, yeah.
Okay, I got a 5.
Mixed success.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one of those things, you are a medium,
Hmm.
and so you have heightened senses to bleed than others have. And as you step forward, you are just drawing out those senses, trying to see if there's anything here. And you begin to hear those whispers again. Coming, he's coming, he's coming, he's coming, he's coming, he's coming. Just on the wind, going by, and it disappears.
Okay, right.
But on the door itself, there's no bleed.
Okay, Austin, the cards tell me the door is safe. The cards do not tell me whether we will all die once we go inside.
All right then. Is the door... I'm going to try and open the door.
The door is unlocked.
Somehow worse. Somehow worse.
Okay. Ashley would, while everyone's entering, kind of just say into the void of the building, we mean no harm. Just a general statement. We
Mm-hmm.
mean no harm.
You hear an echo back. Harm, 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 harm.
That's not
Lovely.
Okay.
Can I do an above the table question? Are bleed detectors, are those like passive, or do we have to actively use those?
You have to actively use them.
Right.
So this is aesthetically whatever you choose it to be for your character is your
Yeah.
bleed detector.
That's fine.
So
I just didn't know if I had to say I was
Mhm.
using it to try and
you
trap.
absolutely have to say that you're using it.
Great. In which case, I probably will, as we are heading into the void, try and lift it and see if I can use my detector and get a sense for where the biggest traces are.
If you could please to tell us, what does your bleed detector look like?
Emily's bleed detector is an old heirloom ring that she has. It is gunmetal and has a clear blue stone on it, almost like a sapphire. As it picks up bleed, it grows cold on her hand, and the gem starts to like frost over and go cloudy the stronger the bleed gets.
Okay. So as you step forward, there are a couple of passageways here that you could go. You scan around and your ring starts to go cold on that middle passage.
Well, it seems like the middle is the way. Certainly the way with the most bleed. I hate to say it, but that does seem like where we have to go.
Normally, I'd prefer checking the sides first, eliminating any threats, but if our professor and her assistant are in danger, we should assist them as quickly as possible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
All right.
Austin marches forward.
You head on forward, going into the passage, and Emily, your ring is getting colder and colder and colder as you go. The wind picks up, and you all start to hear those whispered murmurs. And now it says, "They're coming, they're coming, they're coming, they're coming."
Now, are they talking about us?
I hope so. Would you rather someone else?
Might be.
No, but I don't like that they have advance warning of us being here.
So I wonder if they don't take well to us.
I just.
Another horrifying thought is, what if they're warning something else and we just hear the whispers as they're whispering it to someone or thing else?
That's what I was thinking too, yes. What if the warning isn't for us, it's for whatever we're going to face?
You continue on down this hallway here, and as you do, you start to pick up a glow further along. Moving forward, closer and closer, you realize that what you're seeing in the corner of a room, there are runes and like text all over in charcoal, all covering the ground, the ceiling, the walls. And at the corner of the room with a lantern is what looks to be a young woman in her mid-20s, her hair messed up, her face and hands covered in charcoal as she's muttering to herself, "They're coming, they're coming, they're coming, they're coming, they're coming, they're coming, they're coming," as she draws all over in charcoal.
Professor?
Her head jerks towards you, and you can see that her eyes are glowing bright red.
Wonderful.
Chloe, we're from Candela Obscura. We've come to help you. Is she? And he looks back. Is she possessed?
I'm not sure.
She's certainly under some sort of influence. Emily will very carefully gather her coat up and crouch to be on her level and just go, do these runes mean something? Explain, I can help.
So as you say that, I'm going to say you're going to need to roll a sway. And
Okay.
who would like to roll read?
I can roll read. I have a 2 in read.
I can. Same. So do I.
I'm
Who
gonna.
would like to do it? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I'll do it. I'm going to burn a drive in cunning as well.
Okay.
I'm gonna spend a cunning to give this to
Okay.
Emily for the sway.
Great. Thank you.
And I forgot we're all in this together.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually should have gotten my intuition drive back when
Okay, yeah.
Ashley. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yep.
Okay, lovely. I got a 6.
I got a
Okay.
6 on read.
Jesus, y'all.
All in this together.
Together. Oh gosh. You're looking at someone who played Kelsey Nielsen. Anyway, yes, you are all in this together. Full successes all around, which is fascinating because as a professor, you are saying this to Chloe. The red in her eyes does not dim, and it starts to glow brighter.
Mm-hmm.
As much as this could be a full success, you needed a critical success to break through to her. And her eyes glow brighter and brighter and brighter, and what emits from her mouth is not human. It is an unearthly shriek as she just screams in your face. And Viv, you get the sense that, oh no, Professor Yannick is not in the room right now. And there is something else here, as coming off of her, expanding outward, is what appears to be some kind of shadow, growing immense all around, blocking out all of the light around you. And it has a form in a way, these shadowed arms, shadowed form, the eyes glowing red high up above. And it just says, no, you will not, I must protect, and is getting ready to attack. What do you do?
Ashley is gonna yell out, we were sent by the archivist. We were sent by the archivist. We want to protect this just as much as you do.
Fascinating. Totally a freaking lie. So I'm gonna say
We love to lie.
We love to lie. I'm gonna need you to roll sway.
Okay. I have nothing in sway.
Amazing. You
I
have drive.
I can give you.
Yeah, I have
spend
drive.
a drive.
I can.
Yeah,
I can give
use
you.
a drive of my own.
I'm also going to donate a drive of cunning as well.
So I roll.
So because of that, you roll 2 dice as normal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, 4 was my highest.
4. A mixed success. So as you say this, you can sense that there's something wavering in this large mass of a creature. It's not quite clear to you. And then you get this drawing sense, this heat again, as you feel something latching into your mind. And it runs through memories. And tell me, what does Ashley most fear in this moment?
In this moment, I think it's just preservation of everyone.
So as you can sense whatever this is flipping through your memories, it rushes past that, latches on to that idea of self-preservation, and you get this image in your head of all of you on the ground dead.
Ashley is just gonna immediately like drop to his knees, and I think like he just like unknowingly, like he doesn't know what's happening. Tears are just start streaming down his face as he looks up at that shadowy figure behind the professor.
Mm-hmm. And as you do, and as you get this vision in your head, everyone else who's able to see this, you notice that Ashley's eyes are starting to glow a faint red.
Okay.
What can I do?
Yeah, I think seeing that, Emily starts to like not panic, but be like, "Oh, we're moving," and is going to try and clock the runes on the floor and see if they are anything that like disrupting them will be helpful, or if it's something else entirely.
Okay. That would be either sense or focus.
Great. I'm going to focus, and I'm going to spend a drive.
Okay.
Double sixes.
Amazing.
Not in my gilded though, so alas.
Alas, alack. So as you are frantically scanning around, trying to figure out anything that is in these runes, you immediately start to recognize some of them because they were in the texts that Professor Yannick was researching and the things that she was looking into. And you realize that looking around, you can see that there are a number that were in those texts, runes of protection, runes of guardianship, things that you don't quite have an understanding of, but absolutely you can clock all of these. What specifically are you trying to do?
I think in her head, Emily is trying to get a sense of, are these runes calling this entity? If she disrupts this spell being cast on the floor, will it sort of free the people under that control?
And as you do, you had a critical success. You rolled 2 6s. So as you are looking around trying to figure this out, you can tell that if you were to squash out, to blur away any of these specific runes, it would stop in its tracks, whatever it is that is taking over your friend Ashley.
Great. In which case, she'll just take her palms and smear the charcoal at the runes that she thinks will disrupt it most.
Okay, so I'm going to say I need you to roll move for this.
Alrighty. Is it worth spending drive? To see what happens. Alright, a 4.
For a mixed success. Remind us what it feels like when you come into contact with bleed.
For the most part, when Emily comes into contact with bleed, it is a memory more than anything, a memory that lives in her body. It is the memory of when she was on a river as a child and the ice broke beneath her and she fell into it. It is an instant wash of both cold but also weightlessness that seems to like leach right into her veins, down to her bones, until there's a sense that she will never be warm again.
So as you go to smear these, you get this sensation and you take a mark of bleed as you do so. Which, by the way, Ashley, you absolutely would have taken a mark of bleed from that. I forgot to say before. Yeah, so you smear these, but in smearing them, Ashley, the red leaves your eyes and that vision dissipates from you. And you can see before you, your companions, you can see Chloe Yannick here in front of you and this massive entity billowing out in size in this room, towering above all of you. What are Austin and Vivian doing?
Vivian is wondering, is there any way they could use their bleed containment vial to help with this whole mess, but thinking that thing is massive, there's no way it'll fit.
You never know.
That's what they're thinking. And also thinking if it was more corporeal, I'd maybe try and punch it. But they're also watching what Emily's doing, trusting that their learned colleague is in their element and in amongst things that they understand. So they're going to take direction from Emily as well, getting ready to assist in any way they can.
Okay.
From a strap to the side of Austin's backpack, this is my third gear item. Of a
Okay.
hand weapon.
Okay.
So I think he pulls out like a. I was thinking like, at first I was like baseball bat, and I'm like, no, not baseball. Not.
You're not gonna Sam Riegel this?
No, but not like cricket either. Like maybe like a lacrosse stick.
Interesting.
Yeah. Does that fit?
Let's see.
Sure. Why not? No, like a polo mallet.
Ooh.
Yes, that's it. So he from like strapped to the side, he pulls off a polo mallet, and holds it, and he says, "All right, bookworms, any solution before I start knocking our friend here unconscious?"
You make the choice that feel right for you, as she is like still shivering from taking the
And so
blows,
he just like
hands
crouches
trembling.
down, like into like a to barrel forward with the polo stick, almost like a ancient warrior's glaive in his hands as he charges towards Professor Chloe Yannick,
Okay.
with the hope of knocking her unconscious.
Yeah, of course. Not trying to kill her or anything like that.
When Viv sees this, they take out their perfume bottle and they're going to try and see if they can pull at some of this bleed to try and weaken what's happening in the room, if that will work.
Go ahead and roll sense for me.
Okay, I'm going to burn 2 drives.
Okay.
I've got lots of drives in intuition.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I did, because it wasn't a great roll. My highest was a 4.
Okay, a mixed success. And this was more to see how much you were able to affect this. And so I'm just seeing the comments happening in the stream chat. So as you pull out this perfume bottle, you said?
Hmm.
Okay, so it's fascinating, like a reverse spritz, basically. And so as you pull that out, it is drawn in, and you can see that there are some wisps of things getting pulled into your perfume bottle, just whirling around in there. Fascinatingly, it looks significantly smaller compared to the condensed matter of whatever it is that is in there. So you definitely did affect it. But in doing so, you will also take a mark of bleed.
Okay.
And have you said yet what bleed feels like to Vivian? I forget.
Yes, it does. It feels like a
Oh,
red
yes.
hot hand
Yeah.
squeezing at my heart.
I love that we have two heat-themed ones and two
I
ice-themed
was
ones.
just thinking that.
Yeah.
That is just delightful.
But it's also interesting because the cold folks have the like higher socioeconomic background. And the hot
Yeah,
folks have the
interesting.
lower. Maybe that's at least in our circle. Maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah.
Intriguing.
Capitalism.
It's cold in the palaces.
Yeah, so you are able to draw some of that in, and you can also see that some of that bright shining red in Chloe Yannick's eyes has started to fade slightly. It's still there, it's still
Yeah.
bright, but it has faded a little bit.
So as soon as I see
Austin.
that fading, that's my go. I'm gonna charge
Mhm.
forward and smack her upside the head.
Oh, I love this. So I'm gonna say that sounds like either a strike or a control. Strike in the sense of punch or knock down. Control as in finesse.
I'm striking and I have a
Okay.
gilded die on that, and I'm gonna spend a drive.
Ah, okay.
Okay, that's I have a 6. I'm not gonna take the 1 on the gilded die. No.
So a 6. You go in, you manage to smack her upside the head. I'm gonna say with a 6, you manage to do it in a way that will not like damage her significantly, but it's enough to incapacitate her.
Yeah, like so
Yeah.
he rushes forward and just like turns the mallet. So instead of hitting her with the hammer end, it's just like the whole of the two
Mhm.
the end, I guess. And definitely it's yeah, I don't know. I don't want to cause brain damage. I don't want to knock out
Yeah.
her teeth though either.
Mm.
So it's very unlike although I didn't roll control, it is
Like
a
a
very
black eye.
controlled strike. Yeah, she gets like a small black
Yeah.
eye. Sorry,
Yeah.
that's what it's gonna be.
She has a concussion.
That's
Yeah.
fine. With a 6, if you had rolled a mixed success, I would have said that you were not quite as good at your
Sure.
aim.
Sure.
But with a full success, you managed to knock her out, but not brain her. And so as you do so, pulling in, hey, we have 2 negative whispers for Viv.
Oh!
What did I do?
Which also means we hit $3,800.
Oh, it's worth it then.
Yay! Amazing. Thank you very much. Yay. Yes, so as you do so, you watch as that red glow kind of flashes out, stutters, and I'm gonna say, Viv, I need you to roll sense.
Okay. I'm
With
And
gonna.
it needs to be a full success.
I'm getting so just because I'm -1 die for this roll. Yes.
Uh-huh. Yes, you are.
Can I spend the drive to offset that?
Yes, you can. But you're
Okay.
spending a drive and you're getting rid of it.
Yeah, that's cool. Yep. Okay. Right. So sense, you said yes.
Yes, sense.
Okay, that's the gilded. 2 5s and a 5 on the
Okay.
gilded. So
Okay. 5 on the gilded, you get your drive back.
super.
And on a mixed success, you can sense that this entity, whatever it is, as the professor, Yannick, is going unconscious, is trying to seek out a new host. And it is rushing towards you. And Viv, you sense it drawing into you. And what is Vivian's worst fear in this moment? The first thing that comes to their head.
My worst fear is my mother's well-being. That's like always my fear is my mother. I worry about her all the time.
Interesting. Okay. So as this thing's rushing towards you, rushing through you, there is this vision that floods Vivian's mind of their mother on her deathbed, weakly trying to reach out and unable to do so.
Okay.
And you're going to take a mark of bleed.
So I do have my ward.
Yes, you do, which soaks up 1 bleed.
Yes. So I think that as I see that the ward, the whelk shell, I'm actually carrying around my neck, and it's like just here. And as I see that vision, I reach for put my hand on my heart, and I feel the shell break under my hand.
It shatters and falls to the ground. And now this entity is kind of just whirling around in the space above. All you hear, these whispers coming around all in your heads, in voices, many voices. Protect, 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 must protect, must protect. What do you do?
Does anybody else have a bleed containment vial on them? I've used mine.
I mean, yes. Do we think it's going to be enough?
Couldn't hurt.
Yep. Emily will open up her bleed containment vial and see if she can get a little more off that.
What does your bleed containment vial look like?
Emily's
Doesn't need to be a vial. I've had a magician who it was his top hat.
Yeah, Emily's bleed containment vial is actually an old book that's been bound in cracked leather, and to contain it, she opens it and it's like this part and draw it down into the ink.
I love this so much. Go ahead and roll sense for me.
Lovely.
Viv is I'm going to spend a burner drive to give you an extra die on that sense roll.
Very cool.
Lovely. Six.
Oh, yes.
6. Amazing. You have already had kind of I keep using the word sense because it's in the game, but you've already had a sense of what this entity feels like as it washes over you. And so as you pull open this old cracked book and lift it up to draw down this entity, you watch as it starts to swirl and spin as it gets pulled into the book. And at a 6, it slams all the way down in, and you're able to close that book shut as the entity is once more contained.
I think it has like a little buckle on it. She's like frantically like, oh, okay, we're tying that up. It's not getting back out. Yeah, we'll fasten it over and hold it tight and be like, okay.
Well done, team. Another flawless assignment.
Where's the other guy?
Well, that's the worry.
Yes. Perhaps
Where's the professor?
I think the professor might need a few more minutes after that altercation with Austin. I mean, don't get me wrong, my darling. You did the right thing there. Absolutely. She's just such a dainty little thing. I'm worried for her now.
Are there any signs in the room of the other person, like Professor Yannick's companion?
So it was names.
Charles, was it?
Charles, yeah.
Hmm.
Well, she called him Charlie.
Oh,
Yeah, Charles. Where are you? Scene one. There we go. Charles Smith. I went generic. So, as you are looking around, go ahead and roll spot for me. Did I use the right thing? I always have to look at the thing. Intuition. Survey.
Survey.
Spot is within survey.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Agent P cannot hear anything for some reason.
Oh no.
Now we can't
Now
hear
we
you
can't
though.
hear you.
No, you're gone.
Is that better?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, my earphones are.
Oh no.
Fine, that's fine.
So yes, go ahead and roll survey for me.
I asked a question and then you answered and all of it was cut off.
Oh no. Yeah, so it was Charles Smith, and so you asked if you could look around, and so go ahead and roll a survey for me.
Survey. I'm gonna use a gilded die for this.
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna take the gilded die because that's a 1. 6.
So many sixes in this game. This is
Woo.
wild,
It
y'all.
was so well.
Genuinely wild.
That's why they
I
brought us
never
out of
get this many
retirement.
sixes.
This is why
Clearly.
we were sent into retirement. They're like, you're too good.
Too good.
Yeah, so scanning around the room, you don't see any signs of this Charles that you were told had come with Professor Yannick. But as you are looking around on that 6, you realize that you can spot footprints leading from this room.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Uh.
Ash kind of notify everyone of this and then start to follow the footprints.
I think just before Viv follows, they're gonna get kind of drag the professor up beside just kind of prop them up so they're slightly more comfortable, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Viv does not know anything about first aid, so they don't know about the recovery position or anything like that. But they just kind of make them slightly more comfy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, maybe take their shawl off and bundle it under their head, and then race after the others.
Yeah. And making your way, should you all go in that direction, up to you, but making your way, following those footprints, it leads you to the end of the hallway where you find the crumpled body
Oh
of
dear.
Charles Smith.
Ashley's gonna check for anything, signs of life.
I would say roll read for me.
Okay. This is 2 4s, so 4.
Mixed success. He's not breathing.
Are there wounds on him? Any signs of what may have killed him?
Looking around, you see claw marks all over him.
Poor soul.
Very similar to the creatures that you saw before.
Sclereals.
Do we want to check for bleed and make sure this isn't some other host of a second entity because I don't trust it. And
That's a very valid. I think we should. So
just to be sure.
yeah. Shall I do it, darling?
Go for it. I am spent and have an entity in this book.
Of course. So I'm gonna burn and drive to offset the negative whisper again. Okay.
Okay.
And guess what I got? A 6.
Hey. We're so good
You
at our
need to
jobs.
give you need to give my pro GM campaign some of these 6s.
Yeah.
Give them your juju.
Everyone just give Anya negative whispers for us just for the last 10 minutes because this is ridiculous. This is the opposite of my recent Fairth campaign where no one rolled higher than a 9.
So, with a 6, you check over the body of Charlie Smith, and there does not appear to be any sign of bleed on him.
Okay. Lovely.
Okay. Well, I think we should. It will be difficult. Between Ashley, Austin, and myself, we should. We should be able to carry him back. This family deserves to bury him.
I think that would be very kind. I can accompany the professor and make sure she is able to make her way out.
Would there be
Yes, Austin?
any perhaps we should spend a little time down here. We've come all this way. The whatever guardian was protecting this place is contained.
Mm.
Yes,
Could be some good information.
Yeah, I don't imagine the professor will want to leave in a hurry after discovering it. So,
I suppose we should, but at the same time, anytime anybody messes with stuff from down here, they end up dead or disappearing. But I suppose what's the point if we don't?
I mean, we haven't died or disappeared yet.
we haven't. This is true.
It would be appropriately willful of us, wouldn't it?
I think it may be.
But I'd like to secure the perimeter, the other hallways here, and then take a look outside on the street.
I'm going to take some pictures. And Ash's gonna pull out his camera and just see what interesting things he can take pictures of.
Yeah, Emma will be copying down like the runes and the writings that are around.
Mm-hmm.
Vivian
So,
is just going to be strolling around with their tarot deck out, just kind of basically doing generic bleed senses of the area, mostly looking for something that might turn into like a shadow monster and eat our faces. Like not heavy, just kind of a vibe check. You know, that's basically vibe checks.
Vibe checks. I love it.
Yes.
I mean, so looking at our time now, you all spend some time down here. Professor Chloe Yannick eventually comes to and is concerned as she sees herself and then is distraught to learn of Charlie's death.
Yeah.
But the research must go on. And so together with all of you begins to gather information from the archives. This is essentially her life's work. And so why would she waste this opportunity when she had come this far?
Yeah.
And maybe you sneak some things away from her that would probably be better held by Candela than by an academic.
Yes.
But eventually, all of you once more make your way out of this space and up into New Fair once more. And that is where we are going to end our session for today.
Hey. This was so fun.
I'm so glad. So I'm just looking at our lovely little numbers over here. We have raised, as we have previously said, we have raised $3,800 so far for PCRF, which is absolutely incredible. That is $800 over the goal for this year, but we still have so many more amazing shows coming up. And we are trying to reach our new goal of $5,000 raised. So let's see. Let's do our little outros here. Thank you, everyone, for watching this session of Candela Obscura, Whispers from Below. I am Anya, and I have been your storyteller for today. You can find me on socials at Lalion Cosplay or on Start Playing Games as a pro GM at Lalion. I do also have a Candela Obscura campaign that's every other week, and there is one spot left if you would like to join it on Sundays. Anyway, I don't have very much going on stream-wise right now, but you can find me on my own channel playing Pokemon Gold on my Game Boy Pocket on most Thursdays. So it lives on my desk because I play it once a week. And that's me. If everyone can do their little outros, what they're doing, starting with Bex.
Hi, I'm Bex. I was Emily today. You can find me on the internet under Phoenix Force, mostly on Blue Sky. In terms of upcoming things, I am playing Changeling the Dreaming over with the Misadventurers League, so that's going to be very fun. Yeah, and I am on the side also a fantasy literature academic, so I will be speaking at Glasgow Worldcon next week, which is very exciting. And I have a couple of other conferences and the like coming up. So yeah.
Very cool. H&P.
Hello everyone, I was Ashley Alton today, and you can find me on Twitter at @D8DungeonDrive or on Instagram at D.Agent.P. Stream-wise, I am doing a little mini-series for Pantsless Tables, and we're playing the system Pasión de las Pasiones, which is a telenovela-inspired TTRPG, and I'm really excited to get into it, get the drama going. Other than that, I crochet, and if you're interested in my works, you can find me on Instagram at So Strange Store. That's SEWSTRANGE store. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Krifu.
Hi everyone, I'm Krifu Bernal. You can find me on all my socials at Krifu Bernal. I am a producer at Horde of Tales Twitch channel where we're on a short hiatus, but we will be announcing a casting call for the fall season of the EU Happy Hour. So keep an eye out for that, where we try to connect actual players from across Europe and beyond. Speaking of EU and Europe, I am going to be on a two-part stream. I'm GMing a two-part stream next week at Euphoria APs, an all-new Twitch channel dedicated to doing just that, promoting actual plays in Europe and not in North America, basically. Where I'm so pumped, I'm GMing the homebrew adventure for Starfinder 2nd edition, using the playtest rules that came out 2 days ago. So I've got a lot of cramming to do, and it's gonna be super dope. So yeah, please check us out then. And yeah, thank you for having me. I think I want to buy the Candela Obscura book now.
Should.
It's beautiful.
And it's so
beautiful.
pretty too. And you have a different version, right, Bex?
Yeah, I have this one, the more monochrome one.
Oh, okay.
Very good. Okay, Neil, last but not least.
Hello, everybody. I'm Neil. Today I played Vivian Windcroft. You can normally find me everywhere, and I do mean literally everywhere, at Fey Earth. I have my own actual play every Tuesday at 9 o'clock Central European Time, where we are in an 1872 Paris filled with Fae and all sorts of fun shenanigans. And I'm currently working on my core rulebook after a successful Kickstarter this year. I am very busy writing and working with my team of editors and artists, and that will be out for everybody to purchase by the end of next year.
Yay! I'm so excited to get my copy. So yes, thank you once again to everyone who donated to the fundraiser. Stick around, and later today there will be a game of Murder and Maple Candies, GM'd by Tom As You Are at 3:15 BST. So until then, we will see you next time, and have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hi.